Alright, let's slow it down and lay this out in simple, human words, no drama, no fancy talk, just the raw story of betrayal, heartbreak, and truth. So here's what happened. Tiny Harris thought she had been through every kind of pain a woman could face: public cheating rumors, trust issues, and endless apologies. But nothing prepared her for the moment she found out that the father of her best friend's baby was her own husband, T.I. It all started with a DNA test Tiny didn't even ask for. Someone sent her an envelope marked confidential, with a note saying, "You deserve the truth." Inside was a lab report showing a 98% DNA match between T.I. and Shekinah's baby. That single piece of paper destroyed everything Tiny thought she knew about her marriage, her friendship, and her life. When Tiny read the results, she didn't scream or throw anything. She just sat there, still, quiet, in complete shock. After a long silence, she whispered, "Not her." That was all she could say. Minutes later, she called T.I. and asked him one question: how long? He tried to play dumb, but when she read the DNA results out loud, the silence on the other end told her everything she needed to know. By the next morning, chaos had taken over. Blogs got hold of the DNA form, and within hours, T.I. DNA was trending all over social media. People couldn't believe it. Some were angry. Others joked about karma finally catching up. Memes spread like wildfire. Tiny became the internet's broken-hearted queen, while Shekinah was dragged for betraying her friend. When Shekinah tried to go live to defend herself, it only made things worse. She started crying, saying people didn't know the real story, but when someone asked her directly if T.I. was the father, she froze, wiped her tears, and ended the live. That silence said more than any explanation ever could. Meanwhile, insiders said T.I. was in full panic mode. He allegedly called Shekinah, warning her not to talk to blogs, saying, "Do you realize what this could do to my legacy?" But it was already too late. Tiny had gone quiet, no posts, no statements, just pain. Friends say she hasn't been herself since. Sleepless nights, lost appetite, and constant replaying of every moment she once trusted both of them. This wasn't just cheating, it was betrayal at the deepest level. And while everyone's still guessing what happens next, one thing's for sure: Tiny's silence is louder than any statement she could ever make. Everything started to crumble the moment that secret message hit social media. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it was evidence. An anonymous account leaked a short audio clip that night, and the internet lost its mind. You could clearly hear a man who sounded like T.I., his voice low and tense, saying, "You think I wanted this? You think I planned it? I told you to be careful." Then it cut off. That was all it took. Within minutes, the clip went viral, and hashtags like #TI paternity tape were trending everywhere. Tiny didn't say a word publicly, but those close to her said she played that clip over and over. Something inside her broke. She reportedly turned to her assistant and said, "If they want public, I'll give them public." That evening, her team posted a simple black image on Instagram. White letters read, "When love turns into lies, even the truth feels dirty." It hit 1 million views in half an hour. Comments flooded in, fans begging for answers, others calling for apologies, but Tiny stayed silent. Behind that silence, though, she was preparing for war. Her lawyers began collecting everything: messages, wire transfers, late-night call logs, anything that proved the connection between T.I. and Shekinah. She even brought in a top publicist who had managed high-profile celebrity divorces before. Tiny wasn't reacting anymore. She was strategizing. Meanwhile, T.I. tried to control the story. He went live, calm and smiling, calling it just gossip, and saying people were trying to weaponize the internet. But when a fan commented, "Then take another DNA test," his expression changed. He looked off camera, sighed, and ended the live. That moment spread faster than any denial he could have made. Podcasters, radio hosts, and influencers everywhere jumped in. Some called it the biggest scandal Atlanta had seen in years. Others said, if that DNA test is real, he's done. Then, as if things couldn't get worse, a video leaked of Shekinah walking into a studio wearing one of T.I.'s hoodies. Someone behind the camera joked, "That's a little too comfortable, ain't it?" She laughed, but fans didn't. The comments were brutal. The hoodie gave birth before she did. By then, Tiny was reaching her breaking point. Friends said the house felt different, quiet, heavy. She stopped listening to music. Every song reminded her of a lie. And soon after, paparazzi caught T.I. leaving the family home with no wedding ring. The headlines were everywhere: separation, crisis, collapse. But for Tiny, this wasn't about fame anymore. It was survival. Shekinah tried to reach out, sending messages that went unanswered. "I didn't mean for it to happen like this," one said. "Please don't let them turn us into enemies," said another. But betrayal doesn't come with an apology big enough to fix it. Then, another bomb dropped. Reports surfaced claiming Tiny found proof of money transfers made during Shekinah's pregnancy, payments labeled as consulting fees. The amounts matched up perfectly with the pregnancy timeline. Blogs exploded with headlines like T.I. paid hush money to keep affair secret. Whether true or not, the story stuck. Fans began rewatching old clips, analyzing every glance and every word. In one interview, Tiny once said, "You can't trust everyone who claps for you." That clip went viral again. People wrote, "She been new." Meanwhile, the internet turned cruel. Every meme, every edit, every rumor, it was all about her pain. The baby at the center of the story became part of the gossip too, though none of this was that child's fault. People debated endlessly: would T.I. admit it? Would Tiny leave? Would Shekinah move away? As brand deals started collapsing, T.I. tried to rebuild his image. He posted about growth and protecting his family, but the fans weren't buying it. One top comment said it all: "You protected your family by creating a new one." Tiny, however, found strength. After weeks of silence, she sat down for an interview. Calm but teary-eyed, she said softly, "I spent half my life defending a man who never defended me. Maybe now, I'll finally defend myself." Those 12 words hit harder than any statement. And then came her comeback, not through drama, but through purpose. Tiny launched a podcast called Truth Untold. The first episode, titled "When the DNA Doesn't Lie," broke the internet. She didn't name names. She didn't have to. She spoke from the heart. "I was loyal to people rehearsing how to betray me," she said. "I thought love was enough. But love without honesty is just performance." That one clip from the podcast went everywhere. Fans called her brave, powerful, and real. She turned heartbreak into healing, and silence into strength. Meanwhile, Shekinah tried to start fresh. She posted a quiet photo holding her baby with the caption, "My only truth." But the internet wasn't forgiving. People saw Tiny as the woman who survived the ultimate betrayal, and they weren't ready to let her betrayers off the hook. In the months that followed, Tiny stood tall. She performed again, wearing a chain that spelled one word: free. That performance went viral instantly. The crowd chanted her name. But just when everyone thought the story was over, Tiny received a mysterious flash drive in the mail. A label on it read, "The rest of the truth." No one knows what's on it, not yet. But sources claim it holds more recordings, more evidence, maybe even more names. Now, every time Tiny's seen in public, calm, smiling, unbothered, people can't help but wonder if she's holding on to something big. When a reporter once asked if she'd ever forgive them, she smiled faintly and said, "Forgiveness is for peace, not reunion." And that's when everyone realized, Tiny didn't just survive the storm. She became it. Because in a world where secrets spread faster than fire, the truth will always find its voice. And Tiny's? It's louder than ever.